Hello, welcome to Tech Learners and welcome to the Java tutorial. In today's video, we will discuss Java data types. I'll tell you what are data types and later while I'll create a program and will show you the use of all available data types into the Java. So what we mean by a data type? Data type is a way or it's a method to tell the compiler two things. One, that what type of data we are going to store, and two, how much memory we would like to store that data, or we will tell the compiler to allocate a specific memory, a specific sized memory to store that particular data into it. Java provides two categories of the data type. One, the primitive data types, and two, the non-primitive data types. Primitive data types which are already provided by the Java language, and these are 8 in numbers. And two non-primitive which can also be called as composite data types or referensive data types. These are created with the help of the primitive data types. Uh, let's say for example a primitive data type, let's say an integer. So why we use these data types and what the compiler is told? The compiler is told that, let's say for example, if we are using an int data type, that is integer, so it will tell the compiler that please allocate a memory of 4 byte. So it will allocate a memory of 4 byte sized, and then the compiler will assure that in those 4 bytes only an integer data can be stored. Like we can store 100, 1000, 2500, but in that we cannot store characters like A, B, C, or we can also not store decimal numbers, for example 100.2, 100.3 and so on. So this will tell the compiler that how much memory it has to allocate and which data we are going to store into that particular memory. So let's begin with the Java data type. As I have already told you that these are of two types. One, the primitive data types which are already available into the Java packages, and non-primitive data type which are referensive and composite, which are created by the user. Primitive data types are 8 in number. One is a Boolean data type which will take only true or false value. The character data type that takes only character values. There are 4 numeric data types: byte, short, int and long data type. In the case of floating point, we have two, float and double data types which are used to store the decimal values. So let's see one by one. In reference to the data type, there are 4 important things. One, what the data type can store. Second, what is its default value. And third, what is its range. And the fourth, how much memory size it will occupy. So let's talk about each and every data type one by one, and we will see this into the program also. So the first is Boolean data type. You can see it will store either a true or a false. So it has a capability of storing only two values. Default values of Boolean is false, and the examples are true and false. Yes, this is the important memory size. So Boolean data type occupies only 1 bit, and the range of this is true or false. That means it cannot accept any other value outside this range. Either it will accept a true value or a false value. So now let's go into the BlueJ for Java programming. Let me create a new class into the BlueJ named Java data type. So I'll create a new class. Inside this class, first of all, I'll remove all these comments. I'll clear everything from this class. I'll only create one function, public static void main function, as I just want to show you how data types are used. So I have created this function. So let me declare the first data type, Boolean. So for that we will use keyword Boolean. Let's say BL is equal to, let me give the value true. So, and now I'll show you the value, how this can be printed. So system.out.println is the actual method that can be used to print the values. So you can see just we have declared this a boolean variable and we have given a true value to it, and let's see on compilation it gives no error. Then we'll execute this and you can see the true is here. So this is how a boolean variable can be used. The two values for the boolean can be true or only the other is false. If I write the false value, then obviously it will print the false value. So this is the range of the boolean. So we can see. Now let's talk about the another variable, data type. So the next data type here is a char. So the char variable data type that stores Unicode characters. Default value is /u 4 times 0. For example, we can store we can store with the help of the / special characters. So this is \n for a new line character. Even a number can also be stored, but it has to be enclosed within single quotes, and it will be treated only as a character, not as a digit. The memory size of this char is 16 bits, and the range that it can store any ASCII character that is in between 0 to 255. Now let's see how we can declare a char and how we can use it. So we use the char keyword, let's say cr, and let me give a value. Let's say I have given a, and if you want to print this, so on compiling, okay, this is cr, the variable name is cr. So on compiling, this is giving no error. Now once we will open and execute it, right, so this is a here in the output. We can also store like \101. So let's see what happens in that case. So this is the code for the capital A. In other ways, we can also store, let's say if we want to store some ASCII values, in that case we'll just write the ASCII code. So I'm just writing the ASCII code, and let's compile, and you can see the ASCII code 65 is equivalent to capital E. So in this way you can declare and you can use the char variable. So this is the char variable. Next is the byte variable. So it stores integers. Default value is 0. For example, -29, 56. The memory size is 8 bits, right? And the range is -128 to +128. So this is the byte for very small integers. So now let's see how a byte data type can be used to declare. Let's see, I have given a variable bt. So let me give a value -24. So whenever I'll print this bt, let me compile this, close. I'll execute this. So you can see this is -24 in the output. Let's see the importance of the range. The lower range is -128, and if I'll exceed even one number from it, so I have exceeded -128 to 129. Now let's see what will happen. There is an error, yes. So error found in the class. You can see what is the error. It is saying incompatible types, possible lossy conversions from int to byte. That it is saying the value is an integer and you cannot store the value in integer into the byte. This is what range says. So this is out of the range and we cannot store any value out of the range. So if I keep it 128, so there is no error. If I will compile, yes, so it will give us the correct output 128. Similarly, we can check the other range also, that is in positive. So if I'll keep 127, it will give no error, and if I'll increase it even by 1, so it will give the error, right? Incompatible types. So let me keep it back. So this is how a byte variable can be used. A byte data type is used. Now let's talk about another data type, that is next is short in the integer category. Default value is 0. Now the memory size is 16 bits, so it is capable of storing larger values, and the range is -32768 to 32767. So now let's see the use of short data type. So we'll use short. Let me write st, the name of the variable. Yes, I can store any value, let's say 456, let's say 456, and let me print this. So compile, close, and then execute the class. So now this is 456, and if we'll write the range, the left range. So right, the left range is -3266768. It will be fine, and if I'll increase the range even one more, then see what happens. Yes, the error, incompatible type, possible lossy conversion from int to short. So it is saying that you cannot store this value into a short variable. You can store this value into the int variable. So let me decrease this, and now it is right. So the next data type is int, right? So the int is used to store integer. The default value of int is 0. For example, you can store any negative or positive integers. The memory size is 32 bits. Yes, it is capable of storing larger data because of the more memory size available. So this is the range of the integer, -21474836482 to 214748367. Let us see how we can declare an integer data type. Let's say I have written in is equal to, I can give any integer 456, and if I'll print this in, and I'll write semicolon. So once I'll compile this, no problem, then I need to execute my class, and once I'll execute, yes, this is -456. The range check, let's check the range. The left range for the integer is -214748364. Let me increase even just by 1, and yes, I have a problem in this. Now what's the problem? Integer number too large and cannot be used, so it is going out of the range, so we cannot store this much longer number. Now I have reduced the value, so that's it. Right, again, let's talk about the next data type, that is the long data type with very large memory size, 64 bits. Default value is 0, and we can substitute the values of like any integer in minus or in positive. Remember, if we are storing in a long number larger than the upper range or lower range of the integer, then we have to write L in the end of this number. So let's see how this long can be used. So this is long ln. I have taken a variable, and let's see, I have taken this value, and let's say if I try to print this long value, and I will compile, no syntax error, and I'll execute this. Right, so we have the right value, -214748364. Let's see what happens if I go beyond this limit. If I go beyond this limit, what is the limit? Right, it's 48. So if I'll go 48 is the limit. If I'll go beyond 49, then what happens? Error, right? What's the error? Integer number too long. So we need to write an L at the end of this to indicate that this is a long data type, long data. So now it's fine just by adding L, compile, close, and let's see by executing the class. Yes, so we are capable of printing the value much larger. So the same thing goes the range. So this is a very good high range for the data to be stored. It can be used to calculate scientific numbers. So let me apply this range to the long variable. Yes, and remember, don't forget to add this L in the end of the value. So right, and this is fine, no error is here. And if I'll increase this even by 1, then let's see what happens. Error. It is going out of the range, integer number too large, so we cannot take this. So this is a long data type. We have another data type, that is in the decimal case, that is a float number. So it is used to store decimal values. The default value is 0.0. An example 1.34f, 1102.0f, and so on. Remember to add an f in the end of the number. So the memory size 32 bits, and it is capable of taking 7 decimal digits. So let's see how we can declare a float data type. So let's see, float, we'll use fl, right? So let's take 78.98. so if I'll use like this fl, I'll try to print this fl, if I'll try to print this fl, and if I'll compile, so there is an error. Why? Because I just forgot to write an f in the end, so I just added the f. Now it is fine, I can compile. So no syntax error. I'll close it, and then I'll simply execute, and you can see in the output, right, 78.98. this is the output. So this is the float data type. The next, right, it is 7 decimal digits. This is the range of the float data type. Now the double data type, this is again the examples, for the much larger number. Even in the double we can use this exponent e also, that will indicate the 10 to the power, and the size is much higher. This is 64 bits, and it is capable of storing up to 16 decimal digits. So let's see how double data type can be used, how we can declare. So this is double. Let's say dp is equal to 2034 e, that is 10 to the power, let me write 12, and in the last I'll use a d just to make it a double variable, and then I'll simply replace this variable with db. So now just by compiling, you can see no syntax error, and then I'll execute this, and here it is, 3.4 e to the power 1313. So this is the way how we can use the double variable, and you can print the values. Double data type. Non-primitive data types में string, array, class, etc. are the examples. String basically the collection of characters. Array can be the collection of any other primitive data type, and a class can contain any of these data types. So let's see the example of a string. The string is capable of storing multiple characters, more than one characters. Its default value is null, and example string s and you will write the string, the characters in the double quotes. So do not forget to enclose the value into double quotes. So let's see with the example. Let me declare a string. Remember, the S of the string will be capital as this is a class. So S, this is equal to, this is tech learners. So enclose the string into double quotes, and after that we'll print this string system.out.println. So let me compile this, no error, and I'm closing this, and then the executing the class will give us the output. This is tech learners. So this is the string, how you can use the string. Now the array can be of integer array, can be a character array, can be a string array, can be a byte array, short array, it can be any. Basically array is the collection of these data types. So let's say how we can create an integer array. Just to create an integer array, we'll use the int, then this is the name of the array, and the array is symbolized with the double brackets. So this differentiate an array with the variable. We'll use new keyword to create the object, and inside the constructor we'll specify the size of the array. So here I have specified 3, that means the array with size 3. So we can store 3 values into this array. The indexes of array starts from 0. So at first place we'll store, let's say, 23. At second place it's 56. At third place it is 84, because the indexes begin with the 0. So let's say how we can use this integer array. So we can simply write we'll declare the array, and once we'll declare the array with the specified size, we'll assign the values to each index. So let's say now how we can display. Just to display, we'll simply write the array with the specified index. For example, I want to print a value that is at 0th index. So let me compile, no syntax error, and we can see the output. So this is right, this is the output 23, the value that was stored at the 0th index. So this is how we can create the non-primitive data type or composite data type. Similarly, we can create the array of a character. So simple, in the same way the character array can also be created. So if we want to create the character array, we can also do, we will be creating the character array with the specified size. Let me write the name of this character array, different name it is needed. So this is the character array. Remember, while assigning the values to the array indexes, we'll specify the characters in single quotes. So this is how we can create the character array. So let's compile, let me closing this, and after that let's execute. Right, so we have the first character at the first index. In the same way, we can create the other arrays of the float as well as of the string. So that's all for the data types. If you want to know more and have any questions, so feel free to comment and ask to me.